Hi, welcome to this online open house for CyberWise. I'm Jonathan Ratner, Educational Director, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you information about the program. So let me share my presentation and get right started. Okay, so it's called Cyber AI and Careers of the Future. We're in the midst of truly a technological revolution since the beginning of the internet in the 90s. This is maybe one of the big ones. AI is a really big deal, and it affects the world of cybersecurity greatly. And we're responding to it. We're at the right place at the right time. So come on, come on board. Let me tell you just a little bit about who we are and how we got here. My wife and I began, our organization is called Soma Iutz V'Limudim. We go by CareerWise today, and we founded in 2009. It's market-based career counseling and training programs, and we're focused today on cybersecurity in addition to career counseling. And this course is already in its 10th year. And so we're about the market, we're about placement. It's great to learn all kinds of things. I love to learn and study, but we're about tachlis here. We're about helping you to get a job in the market. Um, the getting a job, figuring yourself out, you got to figure yourself out from the inside and also from the outside. You got to match what the market is looking for, economic considerations and community expectations and values, in addition to who you are and what you're about. Cybersecurity is not for everybody. You have to be technical to a certain degree. So it's definitely a specific niche. So what we do is training, placement, and employment. Our value proposition is our deep understanding and respect for people. We love people, and our valuable connections to industry. We are a growing family-owned business. We have a cybersecurity company called Tel-arm. We are providing services both in our community and to the international community. We have clients in Canada, the US, England, certainly in Israel and elsewhere. So the course is, it's focused on learning the skills you need in order to get a job, maybe work for us, maybe work for somebody else. There's an internship program where you can definitely gain experience working for us because all the difference in the world is having some job experience in order to get your first real job. So that's really important component. We have a great track record of doing this, of training ambitious and smart individuals from America, Israel, and England, elsewhere. And they're working today and supporting their families. So we're really proud of this. We feel a really strong sense of mission. To share with you a little bit about the concept of cyber, it's specific and it's technical, and I'll tell you more about different aspects of it. But here's a guy, Yisrael Gvertz, I think his name is, and he's a B'nai Braki. He's very much a Hasidic Avreich. So that means like he did not learn Liba in school. He went to Cheder and Yeshiva Ketana and Yeshiva Gdoila, and he was rated by Google as one of the top hackers in the world. Because if you put your mind to it and you learn how to use your computer in a, sort of a aggressive way, offensive and defensive, you can become great at this. So it's about will, ratzon, putting your mind to it. And I put in I found this today on LinkedIn about cyber is winning in 2026. This is about stock performance, but it does show you that we're in the midst of an AI revolution, and AI demands that we respond defensively. AI is being used by the attackers, and of course, it's being used by the defenders. So cyber companies are hot. So look at the growth of NASDAQ this year. The stocks on so far in 2026 are up by 11%, but cybersecurity companies are up by 23%. So it just shows you it's a really hot area. Let me explain why cyber is a really good fit for members of our community. So first of all, there's a shortage, okay? As I said, it's hot. And because it is technical and you have to really invest into gaining the skills and knowledge, so that limits all the people who are of lower than average intelligence, okay? The barrier to entry is mostly brains. You don't need a college degree, okay? But you need to study. There's relatively high pay after a short education of a year or two. I'll show you some figures as we go. And there's, wonderful flexible work from home possibilities, which is nice for everybody, but particularly in our community, which is about family. raising a frum family. So the ability to have flexibility to work from home, be with your kids or whatever, whether you're a man or you're a woman, but that's very meaningful. And so it's a really good fit. And that's why we are having success in it. Okay. So as I said, there's a shortage of human resources. Here's some numbers for you. The cybersecurity industry is experiencing a persistent shortage of people who know what they're doing. Okay. So it says there's 2.8 million unfilled positions worldwide, a huge number. The World Economic Forum estimates a need for 4 million more cyber professionals globally. But here in Israel, Israel faces a shortage of approximately 10,000 cybersecurity professionals. Now, this is tricky because sometimes you hear about, oh, but I heard people just got fired. That's true. And it's complicated. And it's not like, oh, yeah, there's 10,000 people missing. So I'll take a course or, do something online and I'll get a job. It's not easy to get your first job. The people that are missing, the professionals that they're looking for are advanced professionals. So when you're just at entry level and you're starting, it's hard to get your first job. And that's why our program focuses on helping you get your first job and doing an internship in our company and then working for us so that you can use that as a stepping stone to go on to greater things. So AI is changing cybersecurity. It's making attacks cheaper, faster, and more convincing. I see attacks every day. I mean, we've been hacked and I get emails all the time, and there's phishing and there's all sorts of things going on. It's really easy for the hackers to take other people's money. So it's harder for the defenders, but the defenders are also using AI. And so as a cybersecurity professional, you need to understand and be able to use AI effectively. And that's something that we're teaching. Here across the board, professionals that have AI skills on average are earning 28% more than people who can do similar stuff but don't use AI. It's everywhere. If you don't feel comfortable or you don't have proficiency in using AI, you're sort of not in the game. So it's really important professional skill today. I do want to emphasize, I've said it's technical, that there is room for all different kinds of people in the field of cybersecurity, and we have experience with this. I'll talk about 4 different personality types. We're into personality types. And so I'll talk about here gold, red, green, and blue. So gold are people who like work in the bank, okay? Or maybe they might have learned accounting or auditing. And so there's a part of the cyber universe called GRC, which is governance, risk, and compliance. And these are people who fill out forms and who make sure that you're compliant to the relevant rules and regulations. And so people like that who are detail oriented and critical thinking, they have a huge place in the field of cyber. Red personalities, people who like to take risk and who like to break rules. So they're hackers, okay? But we're talking about being ethical hackers, where you're a good guy. You're not in danger of going to jail because you're working for good companies who are simulating attack vectors. How would the bad guys break into this program? And you do it and you show how you did it and you give that information to the good guys so that they know how to protect themselves from the real bad guys. And those are very high earning people, those red teamers, those ethical hackers. Training is a big part of cybersecurity. The human element is still the weakest link in the chain. Most of the phishing attacks and the social engineering, they're based on people being gullible and falling for things, whether they're under pressure, whatever it is. So green personalities are like people who might be teachers. So training for cyber awareness is also a great opportunity for men or women that like to teach other people, because as new cyber threats and viruses and malware are developed, somebody smart has to learn about it and then explain it to everybody else who are non-technical. So you need to have technical understanding and have verbal skills and people skills to give that over to a non-technical audience. So again, that's very valuable. The last are blues. Blues are like scientists and research people, so R&D. There's something called reverse engineering, looking at today's, most recent malware and see how does it work? How do they make it? And how can we defend against it? And what do we need to do? So cyber researcher is for sure a very lucrative position. So my point here is that there's all different kinds of people working in the field. Here's a presentation about it. I'll just give you the idea from 10,000 feet. Here's a graphic designer who's producing educational materials about cyber, and here's social engineering trainer, a network security administrator that is more technical, social media consultant, and an ethical hacker. Okay, so there are, again, all different kinds of peoples and personalities who find their place in the industry of cybersecurity. And I love this slide. It's diverse branches of the industry where, like, if you learn accounting and you're going to be an accountant, so you're going to be an accountant, okay? And it's true. There's, you could be an accountant of this kind of firm or that kind of firm, but sort of cookie cutter, you've seen one, seen them all. In cyber, there's a great diversity of different things going on in this field. So here's the green, the governance, laws and regulations, and threat intelligence of what's going on and reading about it and giving that over, user education, security operations, active defense, and so forth. SOC is a security operations center, keeping track of what's going on in the network. Security architecture, that's a more advanced one. Cryptography, how people are using secret codes to get in. Frameworks and standards. This one is called risk assessment. That's very important, conducting an assessment of what are the risks that a company is facing. Penetration testing. It's related to physical security, not having your router open to everybody who comes into your business. So the idea is that there's many different domains, even within the field of cybersecurity. Personality traits for success in cyber: curiosity, love of learning, strategic thinking, calm under pressure. It says that the master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. It's the kind of things where with technology, things don't always work. So you have to try again and find the bugs and keep at it until you get to success. Some sought after cyber skills are attention to detail, creative problem solving, clear communication, saying what I tried and what didn't work, what I might try. Hard skills, where we teach some scripting, which is computer programming, information management, and then to specialize in a particular discipline within the field. The industry background, the field of cyber, as we said, it's hot and it's on many different levels, but including the level of war, right? Iran and Israel and others are fighting on every level, certainly at sea in the Straits of Hormuz, and on land and in the air, but also in cyberspace. There's attacks all the time in cyberspace, the US, Russia, North Korea, Iran, criminal groups. So we're all on the front of cyber war. And it includes having your credit card stolen and fraudulent transactions in your bank account. So we all have to be vigilant. And this is one of the factors that's putting the world of cyber front and center, giving it so much attention and making it so valuable for people to enter the field. So our slogan is learn, trade, and work, a three-phase pathway from the classroom to a rewarding career in cyber. It's a one-year program where you'll be learning once a week on Sunday online like this, but very technical for 2 or 3 hours. And you'll do homeworks during the week. And then the second year is an internship program where you'll be working in real cases and really working with clients and doing stuff. And then you'll get hired either by us or by others and go on to develop your career. So it's a unique and very valuable platform that is opening up a career pathway to anybody who's willing to put in the hard work and make it happen. The market is driven by regulation. Nobody maybe is excited, oh yeah, let's improve our cybersecurity. Nobody wants to maybe spend money or time on it. And it's sort of frustrating because I have to have multi-factor authentication and so forth. But the answer is you have to. Even if you're a cowboy and you're not afraid of being hacked, but in Israel, as well in other places, the laws are requiring you to be more careful. So in Israel, there's something called Tikkun 13 Lechok Haganat HaPratiyut. Israel had to measure up with the GDPR, which are privacy laws in Europe. There are other regulations and standards, ISO. In America, there's HIPAA for those in the nursing home business. Publicly traded company, you have to comply to SOX, something called SOC 2. If you have credit cards on your website, there's obligatory standards and regulations that you need to adhere to. And today, for example, in Israel, this applies to like every institution that has a database of customers or students. So today, the yeshivas and the seminarim, they all have to be compliant with Tikkun 13. So our company, which is called Tel-arm, is now providing services to yeshivas and seminaries and to all sorts of frum moisdois that are required to improve their cybersecurity in order to comply with these laws. So we have a whole, ecosystem within our community of people who need cyber services, which is training, risk assessment, adoption of protocols about passwords and all sorts of things. So these are now business projects that we are engaged in and what our interns and our employees are working on. So I'm really excited to share these great videos of two of our very successful, they were interns and now they're both working in the field. Let me see how to share this. Okay, let me make sure I get you the sound. Okay, here we go. So this is about Abigail Saada. Hi, Erev Tov, אני פה עם אביגיל סעדה, תלמידה מצטיינת של CyberWise, משלבר, ערב טוב, אביגיל, תודה רבה שלקחת הזמן שלך להיות איתי הערב. אביגיל מגבעת זאב, והיא צעירה, אבל היא כבר הצליחה ברוך השם להיכנס ממש לתחום הסייבר. אז אני אתחיל מהקורס, הרי הסלוגן שלנו זה Learn, Train, Work. The course is in English, אבל אביגיל היא דוברת עברית. אז אביגיל, ספרי איך הגעת לקורס, ואיך זה היה שזה היה באנגלית, ואת בכל זאת מתעקשת לדבר עברית.
כן, אז אני הגעתי לקורס כי חיפשתי קורס בסייבר, מאוד רציתי סייבר, וחיפשתי משהו חרדי. וזה הקורס שמצאתי, וכמובן התקשרנו, וגילינו שזה באנגלית. אמרתי, טוב, לא רלוונטי. המשכתם לחפש, ואין עוד קורס של סייבר חרדי. אז הלכנו לפגישה עם חנה. התחלנו לשאול אותה איך זה יכול להיות, איך אני אוכל להסתדר שזה באנגלית. היא אמרת לי שאם אני רוצה, זה מאוד, אם אני אשקיע, אני אצליח, וגם יש לנו שלחה לי סרטונים בעברית, של שיעורים שהיו פעם בעברית. התחלתי, והמרצה באמת גם היה ישראלי, אז ככה שהאנגלית שלו הייתה לי הרבה יותר ברורה. ומה שלא הבנתי, אז ראיתי אחרי השיעור עם תרגומים, ומאוד, זה כן היה יותר להשקיע בשביל להצליח, כי בכל אופן זה לא השפה שלי, אבל ברוך השם, הנה אני כאן.
את ממש כאן. אז ספרי, אביגיל, הרי סיימת את הקורס לפני בערך שנה, ואחרי זה עשית סטאז' אצלנו בחברה בתל-ארם, ואני הרי מכיר אותך טוב משם, וכמה שתרמת באמת לחברה ועזרת לקדם אותנו, אבל ספרי קצת איך זה היה ההוויה של הסטאז'.
אז זאת חוויה מאוד מאוד בונה. ראשון להיפגש עם השוק, עם העולם, עם הלקוחות, לדבר עם לקוח. לדעת איך הדברים בכלל מתנהלים, כי זה הביא זה מאוד למעשי, מאוד מה צריך לעשות, איך לעשות. דיברתי הרבה עם הלקוחות שזה מאוד נותן לי. נתנו כל מיני דברים, למדתי המון. היו דברים, אני מההתחלה מהקורס אמרתי אני רוצה רק PT, שזה הדבר שהכי מדליק. ובאמת בסטאז' עשינו סקרי סיכונים, עשינו DPO, עשינו GRC, שזה הדברים היותר טכניים, אבל באמת זה שעכשיו אני עובדת בזה גם, זה עולם לא, זה בכלל לא הדברים הטכניים, ויש בזה הרבה דברים מעניינים ואני מאוד נהנית.
יפה. אז הרי באמת באמצע שנת הסטאז' כבר עזבת אותנו, אבל זה היה גם לשמחתנו, כי קיבלת עבודה ממש טובה. אני לא אזכיר את התלוש משכורת שלך, זה לא ענייני, אבל אני יודע שאת מרוויחה טוב. אז ספרי קצת מה את עושה, איפה את עובדת, מה הולך שם.
כן, ברוך השם. אז אני עובדת בחברת ביטוח, בשומרה. זאת חברה קטנה עם צוות אבטחת מידע יחסית קטן. לי זה מאוד טוב, אני מאוד נהנה שזה קטן, כי זה יותר מתייחסים אליי מאשר חברה ענקית עם צוות ענק, שכל אחד זה שם עוד אחד. אני יחידה שעושה GRC בחברה, אין עוד תפקיד GRC, אני יחידה. אז ככה שיוצא לי, יש לנו ראש צוות אבטחת מידע, אבל אני לא תחתיו, אני תחת הסיסו, שזה מאוד מלמד, שזה נותן המון, כי כל דבר שאני צריכה אני מתייעצת איתו, וזה זה באמת, זה עבודה מאוד מעניינת ודינמית. אני עובדת, אז זהו, שבסטאז' אנחנו עשינו סקרים לאנשים חיצוניים לחברות, אז אצלנו אנחנו לא עושים סקרים, עושים לנו סקרים, אז אני צריכה לנהל את כל הנושא של הסקרים. צריכה לעשות בקרות בתוך החברה. זה תפקיד מאוד מעניין, מאוד דינמי, עם הרבה עבודה, ואני מאוד נהנית.
יפה. אז לסיום, תגידי איזשהו משפט, מי צריך לקחת את הקורס CyberWise?
כל מה שחכם.
אוקיי, עצה טובה. אביגל, אני מאוד מאוד מודה לך. אני מאחל לך המון הצלחה, נהיה בקשר. תודה רבה לך, אביגל. לילה טוב.
תודה.
שלום, שלום. So that was Abigail Sada. As you heard, she's a Hebrew speaker, but she took the course in English and overcame the language barrier. As she said, our instructor is a veteran of Tzahal, Yechidat 8200, and he's a Hebrew speaker. It makes it easier for Hebrew speakers to understand him, though the English speakers also do fine. I do want to share another video of another successful graduate, intern, and employee of ours today. And though she is a native English speaker, she's an Israeli, she also speaks Hebrew. Her name is Tamima Hertz. Let me share that with you. Hi, welcome. I'm here with Tamima Hertz, an employee of Tel-arm Cyber, who graduated from the CyberWise course about a year ago. And I'm here to ask Tamima a few questions to share her experience. Tamima, thank you for being here with me today. Tell people how you found out about the course and how was your experience in the CyberWise course?
So I went to Hannah for career counseling with my TEAL test, and I told her everything I wanted in my job. So after looking at my skill set in the teal and my personality type, she really recommended going into cyber. And the CyberWise course was a great way to get into the cyber world. So I did it. I took the course. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I found it really interesting. I love that it was only from home, super convenient for me. Um, I had another girl that was about my age, so like every question or just like needing to schmooze about the course with another girl, so that was fun having. Aaron's teacher was very explained everything very well, always there for any questions. So nice and patient, explains everything that was needed. They're very much to help if a test didn't work out or a project, totally understanding and really help me get through the course. Um,
So
yeah,
since the
I felt like it gave me a good foundation into the cybersecurity world.
Beautiful. So then after the course, you started working in this internship in Tel-arm. Tell us what have you done and what have you learned?
So first of all, it was cool doing everything you learned in the real world and learning so much more about the GRC world because the course is like the basic, but actually doing it, you learn so much more about cybersecurity and GRC and regulations and everything. Yeah, basically in regular day we work with clients, basically getting to know the company and according to that like seeing which regulations they need and help them match those regulations. So if it's in writing their policies, doing staff awareness training, meeting with their IT to discuss what they need to do, yeah, and all of that.
It sounds really challenging and engaging, and I know you're doing great, so I appreciate that. So Tamima, to put closure on it, what advice would you give to people who are considering taking the course?
I would say, first of all, if you're ready taking the course, invest in it, do it right, do the classes, be in the classes, do homework on time, do everything on time. So much harder to do everything late. So definitely that. And if you have the time to learn more, not only what was taught in class, I think it's a huge advantage when looking for a job. What knowledge you have will definitely help you with finding a job.
Tamima, thank you so much for being with me. I wish you much continued bracha v'atzlacha in everything you do.
I mean, thank you.
Okay, so we heard from Abigail and we heard from Tamima about their experience in Learn, Train, and Work, taking the course and participating in the internship program. And today, Abigail works in Petach Tikva and Tamima works hybrid, sometimes from home and sometimes in the Tel-arm office. So let me tell you a little bit more about it. Okay. The internship program, we're talking about Tikkun 13 and what Tel-arm is doing and what the internship is focused on. So DPO is a designated privacy officer. Anybody who has any company that has a database needs to have a DPO. And so we provide those services to our clients. Penetration testing is ethical hacking, finding the vulnerabilities, the weaknesses in a client's, maybe it's their app, maybe it's their website or whatever they have, and documenting that and telling them how they can improve their cybersecurity. Those are the main two focuses of the internship program. And it's a one-year program, which gives you real-world experience to put on your resume to help you get then your first real job. So what kind of real jobs are there? What do our graduates do upon completion of the course or the internship program? So a SOC analyst, I mentioned a SOC is not like socks on your feet. It is a security operations center where they're watching the logs, they're watching what's going on in the network. And so there's people who are working on that and dealing with problems when there's a red flag. Cybersecurity researcher, as its name implies, you're doing research. GRC, I said, stands for Governance, Risk, and Compliance, and that's what we're mostly doing at Tel-arm. Incident response, companies get hacked. You have to control it, fix it, and stay in business. Pen testing, we explained that. CISO stands for Chief Information Security Officer, and a vCISO is a virtual CISO because smaller companies don't need a full-time CISO, but they do need someone to be responsible for their cybersecurity. So we have people on our staff who are playing the role of the vCISO of other companies and really leading them and speaking to the boss, to the CEO or whoever's head of the company about their cybersecurity posture, the architecture of their defense, and so forth. So that's a very high position, very challenging and rewarding position. Israel's a world leader in cyber. Like I said, we're in the right place at the right time. A huge percentage of money that gets invested in cyber companies actually comes to Israel, 41%, as if Israel were 40% of the world, right? It's a tiny country, but it's a world leader in cyber. Over 1/3 of the world's cyber unicorn. A unicorn is a company that raised $1 billion, or it's evaluated at $1 billion at the very beginning, and more than 1/3 of them are in Israel. And that's continued. So Israel is like the epicenter of the world of cyber. So we're in a great place. So what about the money? So there's a really interesting thing in the Israeli economy that the average monthly salary in high tech is 31,000. In all other sectors, it's less than half. So you want to be in high tech if you can. And only 10% of Israel's workforce are, because not everybody's cut out for it. So if you are cut out for it, you're smart and ambitious and somewhat technical, it's worthwhile, it's lucrative. Okay, that's where the money is. So some specific job titles and salary ranges, right? There's a range. You could work for a small company and maybe you like it there, the environment, and you're not getting paid as much, or maybe you're going to Tel Aviv and a really competitive place and you're getting paid more, but you're dealing with the culture of Tel Aviv. So these are trade-offs that people make. And as you gain seniority and you have more under your belt, more cybersecurity certifications, we'll talk more about that, you're going to earn more also. So an entry-level SOC analyst, maybe we'll start at 8 or 10,000 up to 15. A more advanced security analyst from 12 to 22, a pen tester 20 to 30, GRC compliance person with some experience could make 18 to 28. If you're already a CISO or a cyber architect or a senior consultant, you can do really well, okay? And we have graduates who are making that kind of money. So it does really happen, but it's not magic. It doesn't happen by itself. It takes time and hard work and ongoing learning, okay? So to talk about the learning program, there's a detailed syllabus. It's available on our website, or send me an email and I'll be happy to share the academic calendar with you. But basically, it's about the beginning of information security, technical skills, and networking, defensive and offensive skills, blue team, red team. The blue team are the defenders, the red team are the attackers. Scripting, we're learning Python, just a few weeks, but in order to make best use of your computer, you need to be able to tell it what to do. And then GRC, cloud computing, AI. And over the course of the year, students will make 3 different projects, one in Python, one in information security, and then a final project, putting it all together. The course is about attending classes online on Sundays, because we have some people in Canada or the US or England, whatever, and others in Israel. So it's a Zoom meeting. We have a Slack channel where people are in communication all the time, asking questions to the instructor and to each other. There's a platform called Teachable, where there are modules that are uploaded, where you'll watch and read and learn stuff. And there's a Google Classroom where you will submit your work, which is homework and research that you do. There are tests and there are projects. And then at the conclusion of the year, you are offered the opportunity to enter an internship in our company. And we're going to help place you either by us or by others, but help you to get your first job, Bezrat Hashem. So that's the structure of the course. I mentioned certification in this field of, there's so much knowledge. And there are a number of different companies who offer these internationally recognized certifications. Of course, we give a diploma from our course, but we're a small boutique training program. And so these are internationally recognized certifications that you'll do on your own. You'll be taught most of what you need. There's some free online courses to help prepare you for them. You can take them even at home today. And as you grow in the field, you continue to do more certifications. Even people who are 5, 10, and 15 years in the field continue to get more and more certifications, because it's a credential and it shows you're keeping up with the advances in technology. So it's something that we will guide you in. We have a nice program called CyberStars. We have a number of them on our website, but it includes live visits from people, our graduates often, who come into the online classroom and share their experience and are available to be your mentor. So I want to say really clearly that the course is a really wonderful opportunity for growth and to really change who you are and what you are and become a cyber professional, but it's not magic. And it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? This is not scheming. This is a profession. This is something you're going to learn and really work hard in, and you're going to open doors, and then you got to deliver the goods. If you're ready to work hard in order to earn an honorable living, so we can show you the way, but it is not magic. So the call to action is that you have a decision to make. Do you want to study cyber? Do you have what it takes? My wife is really brilliantly insightful in giving you guidance. There are people that come to us and we say, you're really not right for the course. So it's not like everybody is. No, they're not. So it's worthwhile to talk about it. The spaces are limited because we are opening our company to offer an internship. We can't take 1 million, and not even 50, but 15 we can handle. First day of class is August 30th. So you got 3 weeks to ponder it. There are possibilities if you wanted to do the class faster. Okay, you have more free time this year and you want to go through it in 6 months or something. That would be possible. We could talk about that. But otherwise, it's basically a year-long course, and I'll be happy to email you the full schedule. So imagine yourself a year or 2 from now, having learned a lot, having done an internship, doing interviews to get a well-paying job in a great cyber company. That could be you. Other people have done it. So it's for real. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know. Here is an email I use, jartsomet@gmail.com. Our website, cyberwisecourse.com. You could check that out. There's a lot of information there. Otherwise, thank you very much for being with me and wish you a good night.